Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and where's my piece of paper? Organised as always. Okay, so I have actually made some little sheets just to let people know what it is that I'm working on. So I'm currently working on this Heaven and Earth design, and it is a supersized Little Dreamer's Tree Max Colours by Amy Stewart. It's 239 colours and it's 40 centimetres by 250. And I'm currently about here. That's sort of the rough area that I'm currently working on. So just so you know, I do have quite a ways to go. But I'm making more of a conscious effort, definitely in this year, to get through it bit by bit. I know I'm trying it today flat without my easel. And the main reason for that is so that I have a little bit more space, because I can put stuff on top of the diamond painting. And I'm going to see how it goes. But my tablet is currently charging because I currently, that was the first colour that I think I needed. Why is it not highlighting? Oh, I've got one of them there, but for some reason it's not allowing me to press on it. Okay, we've got some lighting up now. So let's see if I go to highlight and go back. There we go. Had a little glitch, but I do have one of these that I need. And then that's up here. So let's see if I still have enough glue on my... I'm working with glue dots, and I only put some new glue dots in this last week. There we go. I only need one to turn the right way up. So I need a gap of 3 and then it goes there. Let's just tip that one back in that way while there's only one. So highlight and done. What's my next? 300. Oh, we are only having ones and ones and ones. Let's see if I can dip in. Oh, here we go. So this is 5 across from here, and then a gap of 3. So it goes there. This is the only thing when I first start. If I'm first starting and it's not on a colour that there's a lot of. Let me see if I can move it over so we can get both lots in. Both my tablet and the space I'm working on. Let's go a bit further over, and then maybe we can just ditch where the case is. So you might not necessarily be able to see all of the case. When it first starts and you're not working with something with a lot of a colour, it can take a little bit to do quite a bit of counting until you can use the other colours that have been done as a guideline. But it seems as though these are all ones at the moment. These 2 diamonds are stuck together, so I'm going to see if I can get them apart before... Oh, I have. If I couldn't get them apart, I would have just gone fishing for another diamond and dealt with it another day. So we've got one of those. Oh, we're all ones. All ones. So I hope everybody is well. How many have I got here? 5 across. Or on the 5th one. And then a gap of 3. Okay, that's that one. Kind of waiting until I can get to this cross one and get some squares filled in. feel like I'll be making a bit more progress. Oh, 336, we have a few of those. Probably far too many tipped in the tray for what I actually need, but the tray was pretty full. So I need to go gap of 3, 1 there, 1 there, 3 across, and I have had to draw a new set of lines on here today because I'd actually run out. So 3rd one across, and then a gap of 3, gap of 4, and then last but by no means least, 4 across, gap of 3. So I've got that one, got that one, got that one, got those 2, got that one. Woo! Yeah, I nearly went for a cheats option today. I went for a different diamond painting that I'm working on, but I'm like, no. I've done that far too much. It is time for some heaven and earth design. So even though my tablet wasn't charged, I figured I could just leave it on charge while we get some of this done. 433. Yeah, it's been a very, very busy week this last week for me, because hubby and I have now got 2 weeks off work, but last week was sort of the week before we were off, which meant we both had a lot of stuff that we needed to get wrapped up, ready for going on annual leave, you know, not leaving colleagues with, or trying not to leave colleagues with loads of stuff to do while we were off. So I do apologise, there was a few less videos on this channel last week, giving you all a bit of chance to catch up maybe, if you were behind in any way. But one of the first plans I have now I'm off is to get as many videos done as I can in preparation for the next coming, you know, the upcoming weeks, so that we can have some quality time off. So I've got caught up on work and I'm now working on getting caught up on videos. So yeah, I do apologise for that. It was just one of those weeks. It really was. I think it tested both of our patience. And we're looking forward to a few days of recovery after it. Sorry, I feel like I'm having to concentrate a lot on where these are going to start off with, because as you can see, they're very, very scattered. Oh, I have done that one. They're very, very scattered at the moment, the first few. And I could just jump to the likes of one of these with more, but I find it a lot easier to go down in number order, because I do have 4 cases of diamonds for this project. I don't want to be flipping between cases each and every time. It is a lot easier to do it by number order. When I first started, if anybody's ever seen my first lot of WIP Chats on this, I did rearrange the cases. So I rearranged all 4 cases to be able to have them in sort of a symbol order, so I could find the symbols a lot easier. And I worked it very similar to the way I normally work a diamond painting that has it printed on the canvas. So I would start in one corner. So in this case, I'd start up in this top corner up here, and I'd pick that symbol and then I'd do all the symbols on it, and I'd keep going across, filling it all in that way. But I found I was spending far too much time looking through the colours, of which, what, there's 239. I spent far too much time looking through 239 colours to find a symbol, and it just wasn't productive time-wise. What has become a total game changer in doing this Heaven and Earth design is this app. So this app is called Pattern Keeper. It's primarily made for cross stitch, but of course can be used for diamond painting too. And it basically, you can import your chart. Heaven and Earth design definitely work. Other charts, it does depend on compatibility as to whether they can be imported into this. But it basically takes your chart and it will find the symbols for you, which means I can work by colour and just work down each one, getting it to highlight. Oh, I thought I'd missed one then. I just spotted a little bit of green that disappeared when I hit the next number. Let's put that one in. And it also gives you a rundown, so I actually only need 5 more of that diamond on the whole of the chart. I've done the rest. I only need 52 of these on the rest of the chart, and considering I'm not even halfway, that's not many, but here goes one of them, and it goes there. And now it changes to tell me I only need 51 now. And you'll see in a moment when I get to the next bit, we'll be on 7. I actually have 2 here that I've completely finished. So I've actually taken them all out of my case and put them back into my normal spares because I don't need them for this project anymore. It's like a nice little way of knowing how much you've done. In fact, I am 32.06% done. So there you go, nearly a third of the way through this Heaven and Earth design. And then I just keep tapping until I find a symbol that highlights in green. And you can change the highlight colour. I just like the highlight in green. It makes more, I think it may have been the default, but it works for me. So that case is done. As you can see, I do have 2 gaps where I don't need the colours anymore. I haven't bothered shuffling all the cases and moving them over though, because there's just too many diamonds to do that. I might do it when it gets to the point where I might be in 3 cases instead of 4. But at the moment, there's that many colours that still need doing, that I still need 4 cases. So there's no point in doing the move. What colour do I need? 730. So I need a few of these. So we'll tip some out. Some of these are stuck together, but I should have enough tipped out now that I don't need those ones. 4, a gap of 4, and then a gap of 2. Okay, what questions do we have from the last few? So, Talita, she says, could you show us how to use the dryer sheets? When I get some, I'll be more than happy to do some sort of tips and tricks on dryer sheets and what they can be used for. Oh, let me mute that. It is something that I do need to pick up, and I know I've said it countless times that I need to pick some up. But dryer sheets can just be helpful to get rid of static for some things. So sometimes when I start using a freshly printed diamond painting tray, for example, there can be a little bit more resistance with the diamonds than there is once I've used them for a few days. And that's primarily due to static. Also, you can have static in diamond painting bags and stuff. And sometimes by popping a dryer sheet into your tub with static diamonds, it can help calm them down. And she says you should also put the tip about the plastic cover sheet on a tips and tricks video. Yes, I do have a few tips and tricks videos that I want to do around cover sheets. I think I've got a couple that are sort of close together, and then I might try and spread some of the others out. I'm sort of working through all the tips and tricks that I have and can do, because some of them I think I do want, you know, to purchase something, or I want a little bit more of a prop to be able to show it fully. But I'm slowly but surely, oh, that's off. There's one over here, but it's off my section I'm working on. So I'm not going there. If I start trying to peel back to pop one diamond down, I'm going to confuse myself even more. I stick very rigidly to the area that I'm working on. Makes things a lot easier. But yeah, I have quite a few different tips and tricks videos coming. I'm trying to get out about a couple a week, because I do recognise that I have a very lofty goal, so it may slow down a little bit later on to accommodate for the time it will take for me to come up with said ideas, or to remember said ideas more than anything. There are loads and loads of tips and tricks out there, and there are loads that I have, you know, mentioned in videos beforehand. It's just remembering what they are to do a solo video on them. But yeah, I'm hoping to have a couple a week coming out that may or may not help you. But by watching them, they're sort of in your brain in case that situation ever crops up for you. Okay, let me find the next colour. I know I'll end up with a lot of blue in this one later. I think that's what this is. I know the TM sign is a blue. I think the cross signs are blue as well. Very full pot of diamonds here. I think I must have shoved a load of extras in. So mark off those couple of squares, and then I can carry on to the next bit. Mark those, and then move on to the next square. And that one. One more. Let's find another one that's decided to sit the right way up. See if I can get those to fit back in. I know they fit, they came out, but that pot is pretty full. 780. We only need a few of these. See, look, I've got one here that's only needs one more on this whole page. And I bet you it's right near the bottom. And I am only tipping out a few diamonds each time. I find it just makes things a little bit easier than tipping loads in when I know I only need about 5 or 6. This is probably the main diamond painting that I do that on, that I only ever tip out a few, because there's so many colours. It is not, you know, you don't tend to have loads of many. So on here, I think it's the TM symbol and the X that I have the most of. Apart from that, it's the odd ones here and there. And there's a few colours that I've been working on a lot recently on the last ones, and I actually don't need them. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Do you see that turn green then? If I go back from there, boom. This is where my colours are. Okay. So I'm going to tip a load out for this one. And this one is definitely going to be a work block by block. So I'm going to start on this square. Try and get, you know, my two that are at the edge lined up as easy as possible. And then I think I'm just going to go in rows because there's a lot of this blue going in here. So I'm going to work a row at a time and mark it off. And then I'm going to go to the next row. Okay, let's find a topic of discussion. Okay, Cecilia, she says she prefers paintings like Mr. Quacker's. She likes it when it's a few colours in one area rather than 10 or more. I do get you on that one. I like a painting that the sort of section that I'm working on has like a block of one colour and then a scattering of a few more. I feel like I get, you know, the blockiness done and the confetti, get it all in one, but the confetti is going into, you know, gaps that have already been filled in, if that makes sense. That's sort of my favourite type, where I can do a big block of colour and then just go in filling all the gaps with all the confetti. I love it. But yeah, she did say she thought I was already finished with Mr. Quacker's. No, Mr. Quacker's is one of the big ones that I've had on the go, along with my big Minions. So I've currently got Minions on my easel at the moment. I did a little bit last night. And I keep flipping between starting another small one, because I've recently finished the anime one. I keep flipping between starting another small one or not kitting up another diamond painting until I've finished one of the big ones, either Mr. Quacker's or the Minions. But I do have quite a bit to do on both. And then I keep wondering whether it would be better for me to keep one of my big ones, so either Mr. Quacker's or Minions, as just one to do on WIP Chats, which would then make me feel like it's not one that's in my queue that needs doing, because the WIP Chats will take care of that. It's like my Heaven and Earth design. When people ask how many diamond paintings I've got on the go, I often don't think of these Heaven and Earth design ones. And a lot of that is because I do them on WIP Chats, and that's the only time that I do them. So because of that, I don't see that as one, you know, that I need to get finished. So I don't know whether to move Mr. Quacker's or the Minions, or maybe both, into my WIP and Chat cycle. So let me know what you guys think. I've got this Heaven and Earth design and my other one that are both ones I do on WIP and Chats, and I am trying my hardest to make sure that they, you know, those two are done, and then maybe something else is done. So do I move Mr. Quacker's and or Minions into that cycle? So for example, I'd do a Heaven and Earth design, then I'd do a Mr. Quacker's, then I'd do another Heaven and Earth design, and then I'd do Minions, and then I'd go back to doing the first Heaven and Earth design and have them on a cycle of 4 for the WIP and Chats. What do you guys think? Or do you want me to mix it up with something else, and maybe do, you know, 2 Heaven and Earth designs and one of the others as a standard WIP and Chat, and then have the fourth one to be whatever painting I've kitted up recently? Let me know your thoughts. I know I need to keep the Heaven and Earth designs in there because otherwise they don't tend to get done. It's a lot easier for me to work on this Heaven and Earth designs, or both of them actually, in mainly this one in the craft room, and that is due to the amount of diamonds rather than the size of the canvas. I've got very good at dealing with big canvases on my easel, sat on the couch. I've got that down pat. It's the amount of diamonds in this one. There's not the space for 4 cases worth of diamonds to sit near me, and I need access to them all for every single section that I do. The smaller Heaven and Earth design, it would probably be possible for me to do on the couch. I just don't think of it. I think the tablet as well, having space for the tablet is not as easy a setup on the couch as it is in my craft room. So I think keeping those two as WIP and Chats is going to be the way I get them done. And it takes as long as it takes, and I'm happy with it taking as long as it takes. It's not a race, it's a project I would love to get done, but it's also something that I enjoy doing, and I know many of you enjoy seeing, you know, the work that goes in on one of these as part of a WIP and Chat. So I'm happy to keep both Heaven and Earth designs as WIP and Chats. But what do you guys think about the other ones? I think I need at least one of the other paintings in the cycle. It's whether I need both or whether I go on a 3-week type cycle. Let me know. Mr. Quacker's is square, the Minions is round. And of course both Heaven and Earth designs are square. So that's also something that plays into it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Mr. Quacker's is nowhere near finished. Minions probably isn't either. I'm probably about 1/3 of the way through that one as well. Oh, I need one more over here. And then I am pressing the tick done so that that's each square done as I go my way round. Give them another shake to one side and a shake back. And then let me find another question. Okay. Oh, Tammy says, once you learn to crochet, you will make more than blankets. It's very addicting. Yes, I'm sure it will be. And I think it's one of those that I've never quite had enough spare time to say, right, I'm going to, you know, learn how to do that. Why does this, oh no, I can't count. I thought I didn't have enough diamonds in that row, but I do. Yeah, it's something that I've never quite had enough time and quite enough drive to say, no, this is becoming my priority. I need to do it. Maybe it's one of those dreams that's just a dream. You never know. You never know. Oh, Susan says, no, please don't put Mr. Quacker's away. I love him. Yeah, do let me know in the comments below what paintings you want to see in WIP and Chats. You know, do you like WIP and Chats being the same sort of cycle of paintings so that you can see them come to life? Do you like it if I do work on some of them, you know, through the week off camera, so that when the next WIP and Chat is, you know, it's different? Is that something that you enjoy? Let me know so that I can adapt. My aim is still to do at least one WIP and Chat a week. To be able to keep answering, you know, the questions that you ask. And also, you know, just because they're fun. It's fun to have a little a little WIP and Waffle. Oh, I'd already put one there. Don't know, ask me why I put that one there that early. So we've got 4 and a gap on 1. Then I need a gap of 2. I do like doing these big blocks of colour on Heaven and Earth Design. It's very rare. Apart from when I first started it, and like the first 100 squares I think were all 939. Ooh. Let me just untap those ones I got a little bit tap happy on. So I need that one, miss one, miss one, and then let's do that one above. So that's sort of that little block, and then I can go over here and do this little block. 2, 3, 1, 2, and then miss one. Okay, 4 squares down, 2 squares to go. This is definitely filling this one up a little bit. I'm going to give it another little shake. Not that it needs it, I've got plenty of diamonds, but I do like them as close to the edge as possible. Oh, so Susan also asked, can you explain to me the differences in titles you call your mother and your grandmother? I've heard mum, mam and nan, as well as the title mum and grandmother. Okay, so my mum only has the name mum. I'm guessing it's my accent that has made me say mam rather than mum. So that's M-U-M. In the UK we say mum with a U, not with an O. That's one of the other things that's slightly different when I see, you know, American things with mum spelled M-O-M. To me that's very weird. It's M-U-M in this country. So yeah, there is only my mum in that case. In relation to grandparents, I do actually have a nan or a nana and a grandma. So I have, well, I did have both. So on my dad's side, so my dad's mum, I've always called grandma, always. Until, well, I still refer to her as grandma, of course, but she did die a few years back. So yeah, if I mention grandma, that is my dad's mum. And then my dad's dad actually died when my dad was 8. My grandma remarried, and that is, on that side, that he has always been my granddad, because I never knew any other granddad. He also passed away quite a few years ago now. So I had a grandma and a granddad, and then on my mum's side I had my nan and my granddad. My granddad died when I was about 7 or 8 maybe. I'm just getting another sticky dot because I think the sticky dots have pushed down a bit too far on this pen now, and I'm just twisting it in. I sort of twist it and force it in. I'm favouring the micro dots a little bit. Sorry, is it the micro? Yeah, I'm favouring the micro dots a little bit. I do have to put a couple in when I first start, but then I find as they push down and go further into the pen, then I can add another one. Okay, where am I up to? I started this row. That's what confused me. Yeah, so my granddad died when I was young. My nan is still alive. She is 97. I'm trying to do the maths. Yeah, she's 98 this year, so she's 97. She's a December baby. She's 97, She currently has, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or dementia. I think it's Alzheimer's. I know they're very similar, but I know there are differences. And I just don't know what the differences are. She lives in Australia. She's currently in a home in Australia. She doesn't know who we are when we visit, but she's happy in herself, and that's the main thing. As long as in her world, whatever world that may be, she's happy, then we're happy. But yeah, that's the differences between them. Grandma and Grandad was my dad's side of the family, and Nana and Grandad was my granddad's side of the family. And then my mum to my kids is Grandy, and my dad to my kids is Gramps. So they're Grandy and Gramps to my kids, which helps the difference between, of course, that side of the family. And my husband's parents were Nana and Grandad, though unfortunately they've both passed away. So yeah, it helps make things a little bit easier. I know my nieces had 2 nanas, and they gave them nicknames to go alongside Nana. So my husband's mum was Nana Nukes, and that's how they knew which Nana they were talking about. But yeah, it's weird how everybody does something a little bit different and has a little bit different names. And I forget that I just, mention their names, and of course to you guys it's like, okay, is that the same person or is that a different person? So in the case of me, it's a different person. Nana is one, Grandma is another. Grandma was always the one with the best chocolate biscuits. She'd always say, whenever we went visiting, because she lived further away, both sets of grandparents did when we were children, so we tended to have to, travel to see them. She'd always be like, I haven't got much in, but you can have a look in the biscuit tin, and it always had more than we had at home. It could have 5 biscuits in there and it'd have more than we ever had at home. Yeah, she always had the fun size biscuits and all that sort of stuff as well. So she always had the good biscuits, did Grandma. Nana tended to home bake, so she'd have the home baked goods, but Grandma would have those biscuits we saw in the supermarket that never quite came home with us. They went to Grandma's house instead. Oh, it's weird the things you remember as kids, isn't it? Your mum's probably looking at this, listening to this, going, oh, didn't realise that. But yeah, everybody remembers childhood in different ways. My brother and sister possibly remember it different as well. Yeah, remember different parts. Okay. Oh, Lady Capricorn says she loves Mr. Quacker's. The white diamonds appear to have like a pearly finish. A pearly white rather than the typical white. And that is because they are resin diamonds. They have more resin drills, they have more sparkle. And it does seem a little bit more pearlescent. So AJM asks, what is your day job? Oh, my day job is complaints. I work in a complaints department for insurance. Mobile phone insurance primarily, but I do also work in a department that deals with other appliance insurance. It's the same department, but it's a different section of the same department. I can work across the two. I currently work primarily on the mobile side of things. That's definitely what I know a lot more about. Yeah, and I deal with Irish customers in Ireland. There is UK customers as well, but the Irish insurance laws and regulations and all that sort of stuff are very different. Well, there's similarities, but there are some parts that are very, very different. So we are a specific team. My team all work on the Irish insurance and all the regulations that are required with that. And then within that department, there are two sort of what we call books, two different books. And I deal primarily with the mobile phone insurance side of things. So yeah, I was trying to make sure that as many things, as many resolutions as possible were provided for things that I had already investigated and reviewed, were all done before I finished for the week, as well as, as many steps taken as possible for any departments we needed to reach out to before a colleague took over all of my complaints. I've got a little bit of diamond painting trash that stuck to my canvas, stopped me sticking my diamond down. So yeah, that's my day job. It's mentally exhausting. It's very, I think that's what can wipe me out when it comes to the end of the day is mentally. It's not a physically demanding job, it's a mentally demanding job. Making sure that everything's right, but it's all good. Okay. I was going to see if I could just dive into the pot for these, but I need about 5. Okay, have I missed one at the top there? I have. I've just realised I've missed a diamond, this one here. I've marked it down as having done, but I've not, so I need to go back in a moment. Let me finish off the rest of these and I'll go find out what diamond I should have placed there and didn't. Obviously, chatting and doing my heaven and earth designs is not working as well for me today. Okay, so they're finished. So now if I go back to the search button, I can tap on that one. 831 it should have been. So I'm going to dip into the pot and put that there. And I may find that I missed it, and I may find that I actually put it in the wrong place and it should have been somewhere else. We'll find out if I go to place a diamond down and there's a green one in its way. If there is, that's where I put it. But I'll worry about that when I get to it. Oh, and then the other comment that I've still got sort of left on my radar from the WIP and Chat is from Denise. Yeah, it was Denise. In relation to the discussions last week about hobbies, and that sometimes people have said really not quite nice things. It may be their view, but they've also probably put it in completely the wrong. Ooh, see, this is what happens when I flip. There we go. It's because I moved to the search option. I forgot. So as soon as I've gone to mark it off, it started searching for a different symbol. It's messing with me. Yeah, so she's saying about how, sometimes people will say bad things, probably the way to say it, about, for example, cross stitch or diamond painting, if they prefer one or the other. Like some people's comment that diamond painting is cheating compared to cross stitch. And I don't get it either. I really don't. I don't see one as a cheat to another. I see them as both. They're similar, in the fact, it doesn't help the fact that the colour codes are DMC. to help people make that association with cross stitch. And it is very similar. Of course, I'm currently doing a cross stitch pattern as a diamond painting. They're similar, but they're not the same. There are different elements to each of them that make them appeal to different people. There was one thing she did say at the end. She said, you don't see marathoners balking at the 100-meter sprinters at the Olympics, because sprinting and marathon are two different things, but they're both running. So they both run, but they're not the same. You know, a sprint is different to the 800 meters, 100 meters and 800 meters. You know, it's different things need to be done, different practice, different training, and it takes different people to do them. You know, a marathon runner can probably sprint 100 meters, but they're not going to get the same time frame as a 100 meter. You know, a professional sprinter. And the same, a sprinter can run a marathon. Doesn't mean that they're good at running marathons. They'll be good at sprinting. But yeah, I just think all crafts should be enjoyed for what they are, and not in any way trying to compete against another one. No hobby is better than another hobby. You may have a favourite, but it doesn't make it better than another one. Doesn't make it superior. I don't think there is a superior hobby. We all have our favourites, but I wouldn't say that one's superior over another. It's not like, oh, if you do that hobby, you've reached the elite. No. There's not a grading system on hobbies, so stop competing. A hobby is a hobby. A hobby is done for your enjoyment, and your enjoyment level will be different dependent on the hobby. Right, I need to nip to the loo. I've been chatting already 40 plus minutes. So I'm going to pause you guys. I might get myself a drink and I'll come back and finish this. I'm back in no time at all for you guys. Okay, where's next? 9, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, happy neck. That was full. Diamonds going everywhere. Well, I say nearly done on this section. I'm probably not. And now I've got to think about what to talk about for the next however long this takes. Oh, didn't want to get in place. Oh, I hope everybody caught the video that went up yesterday. If not, you need to go and check it out. The custom comparison surprised me. It did surprise me. It surprised me on a few different levels. So one of them that I expected to be good in the top end actually wasn't. It was in the bottom two. And one that was actually in the bottom two, while I didn't necessarily expect it to be, you know, it wasn't that the expectation was that it would be a really good one, but it was actually a lot worse than I expected it to be. It was quite a disappointment how it turned out, and I can completely understand how some people can get custom pictures done of friends, family, you know, loved ones that are here or maybe even not. And sometimes it's worse on the pic, you know, if you're doing a picture of a loved one that's been lost, it can be a hard thing to do in the first place, and then for it to not turn out how you wanted it to can make the situation worse. But yeah, one of them was, frankly, it was really bad. The exposure levels on it were really, really bad. So yeah, do make sure that you check out the custom comparison video from the 4 that I did. It's really quite surprising how they turned out. I think, you know, we all, there are the top two of that list. It is, while most people think, you know, one of them is the better one, there are still you know, a few people that think the second one is. And yeah, it was the same in our house. You know, we're all looking at a picture of somebody that we love or loved. And the view in our house has been a little bit different between who thought which one was the favourite. The initial thought when I did them, and the picture that I chose was to maybe, you know, give the finished images to members of the family, so that the diamond paintings would, you know, go to good use once they've been done, and the time and effort that was put into them. But I can definitely say that there's the two that I felt didn't look good at all. The bottom 2, I don't think I'd even be comfortable giving those away to somebody, to be honest. So it was a good experiment to do. I'm glad I did it, but I don't think customs that are images of people is something that I am going to necessarily do again. I don't think, I think there's just too much that could not quite look right. But yeah, I just don't think it has the ideal place for me. It's not an ideal diamond painting to do. And everybody's views are different on that. Some people love preferring to do custom pictures. I think one thing that I might do, and I have been thinking of doing in the future. Okay, that one's got a funny bottom. Let's try that one. That one sits better. Let me get rid of that one. It's got a domed bottom on it. It's not working. One thing I have sort of thought, and again I end up with too many ideas and not enough time to implement them, is I have done a few cross-stitch pictures of people, and they were done through the DMC cross-stitcher picture that I don't think you can get anymore, but you used to be able to get those. And I've done a few of those. My mum's done even more, and they look amazing. They actually really do turn out looking like a picture in cross stitch. I may see if I can do one of my charts, because I do still have the charts. So if I can do one of those cross stitch charts as a diamond painting, maybe, to show another way that it can be done. The person who, I think, I need to double check, but the person who used to put together the DMC cross stitch in a photo, I think they have their own company now, possibly. This is all something that's still going around in my head, and I've not done the full, you know, looking into to confirm if it is the truth, you know, if it is able to be done and if they do still do them. And if it is the case that they do have their own company and they're still doing them, of course I'll share that. But it will be a harder custom one to do because it will be off a cross stitch. It'll be off a pattern very similar to this, which does take a bit of thinking. Okay, where am I going? Over here. So we've got that one, got that one, got that one. Yeah, so that's a good video to watch. I do need to do some more kitting up, possibly. I think I might kit up the smaller custom of the Manhui Rachel. Megan has done the smaller Hom Fun, the tiny Hom Fun, but I might kit up the smaller Manhui Rachel soon and get that one finished for a comparison. Just spotted that one over here. Nearly missed it. Had I been going back? Was there another one? No. Okay. Where's the rest of these now? A lot of these are going to be this X. There's the X. See my screen light up there? Let's see how much we can fill this in. But it's not in this box, so we are on to the last case. Back on my shelf. Ta-da! 3750. Let's get some of these done. Okay, I think I'm going to start from the bottom square on this one and work my way up. 3. I'm still working within the square. I can't quite see all the lines, but I can see enough of the lines to just stick within this square for now and see if we can get some of these gaps filled in. See how many we end up with left at the end of it. So yeah, I think I might kit up the Manhui Rachel smaller one at some point this next week or so and try and get that done, and that will completely box off the comparison. There's just so many paintings that I really want to get done. I have loads of paintings that I'm really quite looking forward to doing. A lot of them are the big ones, but I also like doing the smaller ones and the speed that, you know, the how quick I can get those done for a sense of sort of accomplishment, should we say, to feel as though it's another diamond painting tick done. But then I keep debating between that and focusing on finishing some that I've already started, like my Minions and my Mr. Crackers. Ooh, don't need that one ticking yet. So yeah, I'm in two minds what to do. I think I might kit up the custom, and at least then it's finishing a task, i.e. getting all the custom pictures done, so we can have a look at what the different sizes look like of a picture with one person. I also have coming up the unboxings of Fox Wisdom by Willow Arts. I have unboxings coming up from 2 different companies for the same picture. So that's also something else that I'd like to get done, or at least start kitting up. But yeah, there's so many diamond paintings and nowhere near enough time, people. Quite frankly, I just need to be able to diamond paint all day, every day. would be nice. Then again, I'd probably get bored of it if that happened. Well, don't know whether I'd get bored, but I'd probably definitely get neck ache if I tried to diamond paint every day. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is there any particular painting that you've seen me unbox that you're wanting to see completed for any particular reason? You know, is there anything that you guys think that I should prioritise over something else? Should I just continue to let the app decide what painting it is that I'm going to do next? I do need to dekit the anime picture as well. I have finished that one. Again, because that was sort of a small round one. That only took a few evenings to do, mixing it up with some of the other ones I've got on the go. Sort of mixed up, doing a bit of the two. I feel like I've just got so many things I want to do. I don't know whether to just take a pause and concentrate on one thing over another. Oh, not that one yet. Use one, not that either. Oh, fat fingers. There we go. Okay, where am I now? There. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Maybe you can help make my mind up for me on what it is that I should do next. I think once I've done the other custom and I've done, and possibly then I'll go straight into doing the Fox Wisdom. I think after that, I don't know whether I want to do any more comparisons just yet. I think I've covered most comparisons. I know there are quite a few places that people recommend for a custom, but there's only so many customs that I can do and not get bored. I think, you know, it may be something that I'll revisit again in the future, but I think for now I've done my fill for now. But yeah, I've always got paintings that need kitting up, so help me decide which paintings I should do. Would you prefer me to have, you know, a particular painting that is... So my Heaven and Earth designs are just done on WIP Chats. Would you prefer that I have, you know, another painting or two that are just done on WIP Chats and you can see them, you know, come to life bit by bit along with me? What's your thoughts on all of that? And also any other videos that you would like to see. That one's decided to stick, so I'm going to dab it on my dress that I'm wearing just to take off that little bit of sticky that decides it wants to stick to the diamonds. I am going to be getting done a video soon of my diamond painting cart and what I have in that as sort of my basic items that sit there ready for if I need them while diamond painting. I'm also hoping to be able to get sort of a new craft room tour done and up on my channel so that you can see how the shop sort of fits into the craft room space as well, so that you guys have got a better visual on how things are. It did used to be that all the shop stuff fit into, it all fit in the craft room. It has now spread a little bit, but I'm hoping to get a tour, show you where the 3D printers sit and do their work. Yeah, just let me know and I'll see, you know, what I can do, what I can try to do for any sort of videos that you want to see, or indeed any particular paintings that you want to see done. Want to see what they look like finished. I feel like I've got a few that I've picked up from companies, you know, companies that I haven't yet fully tried over the way, and I've just not got round to actually getting them done. Okay, I actually need more. I've got some tips and tricks coming. I will have the kitting up of the custom. I've got a de-kitting of the anime. I've got a de-kitting of the custom that Megan did. Because of course, while she got it done, she gave me the de-kitting to do. Because, you know, who's got time for that? Yeah. Loads going on in the background here as well. We have been working away quite a bit on plans. I think we're going to have a big October. That's the only hint you're going to get. We're having a big October. So stay tuned for the exciting stuff that's coming then. Okay, that one's done. What else have we got? Oh, we've got another one that we've got quite... Oh. No, it's just that one. 3, 7, 6, 8. I've probably missed one. That one goes in there. Oh, that's quite a few of them. 3, 7, 8, 7. This is where it can get a little bit tricky. I'll lose my little lines that puts it into each individual grid. And that's stuck again. Stick that back on my clothes. So that's those two. Then there's one here. There. I do feel when I get near the end I have to be marking them off quite regularly, or at least highlighting them quite regularly. And I put one diamond in then and managed to pull another diamond out. And that's just because it can get confusing when it gets to the, you know, the smaller confetti parts. Be quite interesting as well. I'm a bit between the two on this one. So I do have another Heaven and Earth design that is just the canvas. We bought a few canvases. 2 of them are actually Megan's. One of them is mine. So I do have another Heaven and Earth design, but it's a canvas with the symbols on it that I need to add the diamonds to. So my wonder is whether to kit that up with my spares and try and bring that into my WIP and Chats cycle. So it'll still be a lot of colours, but it should be easier in the fact that it can be done like a normal diamond painting. So I could section it up, you know, a bit smaller maybe, or maybe the same size as my cover sheets that I use. And I could section it up in that way and do that as one of my WIP and Chats. So it would be 3 Heaven and Earth designs and then maybe one that's another canvas. I'm thinking of doing it alternate. I think if that's what I'm swaying towards, is I will do this one week, then I will do something on a canvas the following week, you know, where the symbols are on a canvas, and then I will do the other Heaven and Earth designs, maybe. I think that's how I might mix it up. But should I mix it up with a Heaven and Earth design canvas? Or should I do Mr. Quacker's and the Minions first and then do it when one of those are finished? What do you want to see? because as you can tell, I have too many different options, and I don't really want to make it more than what would be once a month or once every 4 weeks that I do the likes of this painting. I think if I spread it out that much, it may be that it doesn't get done or doesn't seem to make any decent amount of progress. But I also don't want to feel as though every week that I go to do a WIP and chat, it has to be, the full-on chart to diamond ratio, because my WIP and chats when I do this are a lot longer, as you may be able to tell, which is fine, but I don't know whether I can commit to that every day of the week, every Sunday. So yeah, what do you guys think would be a nice happy medium where you guys get to see, the things coming together that you want to see, like this heaven and earth design, but that, also brings variety to the WIP and chat, so that there's different stuff going on. 2 diamonds have decided to pop out, so let's push those back in. Oh, done those 2. Oh, I must have hit clear. Fat fingers again. Okay, what else have we got? Are we actually going to get through this one without having to go back into any tubs? That is the question. Are they all symbols that I've not yet done, or have I missed some? This is where I often have a few across this sort of bottom stretch. So that is that little gap there. Then the next one is one little gap over here. I'll have to give this a little roll over when I'm done. Oh, 3/860, I've got 1 down here. Ooh, 3/862 I've got a lot of, and then I do think I need to go find that triangle symbol. I've missed it in the past. Okay, that's a rogue diamond that's definitely not a slightly different shade. It's a completely different colour. So let's get rid of that one. Let's fill in some of these. This is easier because I'm pretty much just filling in every single one. I'm just checking that it is just, 1 diamond in the rough place it needs to be. So let's tick those off. Tick those off. And then that triangle isn't there. So if I hit search and then tap on that one, it is 3/819. Is it in this pot? It is. So I missed it, but not too long ago. It was in here. And it's like a limey yellow green. Oh, and this is where, so let's highlight that one and done. Okay, let's zoom back out. So that is the tiny section that we got done. It now says we're 32.43% done. So we're still not quite hit a third. It says I have done 600 stitches today, which is right. It's 600 diamonds placed per grid, per portion that I do. And I'm just using the diamonds that are already there, and I'm just scoring that with my nail. So that means that that's all covered up. And then I do want to roll it, because they are diamonds from all different manufacturers, I do like, and you can do this on any, but I do like to try and just give it a flatten down every now and then, just to make sure that the diamonds are stuck. I am going to lose the odd diamond, I know I am, but I'm just going to fill in those colours by sight if it happens. I've just spotted I've lost one over here. One little diamond. So maybe when I get to the other side of here, or if I remember next time, when I'm doing the colours that are sort of similar to here, I'll just bob one in there. I'm not going to try and find out what colour it's supposed to be. But that is another section. I'm not rolling it all the way out, but that's sort of where we're up to and what's been done so far. And we've got another little bite-sized piece done. Yeah. So join me this week for all the videos to come, and of course there'll be another WIP and Chat next Sunday. Do please get your questions in below so I've got something to chat about, especially if it does end up being another Heaven and Earth designs that I do. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next week yet. I think I might see what your guys' comments are first on what's the best way to do it. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.